The Galactic Coliseum stretched across 3 kilometers of reinforced durasteel and quantum-shielded viewing platforms. Beings from 1,000 worlds filled the stands, their chittering, clicking, and growling forming a cacophony that echoed through the artificial atmosphere. Today's exhibition match had drawn the largest crowd in recent memory, not for the spectacle of violence, but for the curiosity of watching Earth's newest representatives face the arena's reigning champion. Anna stood at the edge of the containment field, her dark hair pulled back in a practical braid, her brown eyes scanning the opposition with clinical precision. Beside her, Alexander rolled his shoulders, loosening muscles that had been honed through years of Earth's punishing gravity. They wore simple combat suits, nothing like the elaborate armor of other species, just flexible gray material that allowed full range of motion. Humans, the announcer's voice boomed through universal translators, facing the Krythax Prime, undefeated in 73 consecutive battles. The creature has consumed warriors from the Vrex Collective, the Telonian Empire, and even the legendary Scarran Death Squads. The crowd's noise intensified. In the opposite corner of the arena, something massive moved within the shadows of its holding pen. Alexander glanced at Anna. "You think they fed it recently? Does it matter?" Anna replied, her voice calm, almost bored. "Not really. Just wondering if it'll be sluggish." The Krythax Prime emerged into the light, and the audience fell into an anticipatory hush. The creature stood 5 meters tall on 4 muscular legs, its body covered in overlapping plates of chitinous armor that had evolved over millions of years to withstand plasma fire. 6 eyes arranged in a hexagonal pattern tracked movement with predatory precision. Its mouth, if it could be called that, split its forward section into 3 hinged parts, revealing rows of diamond-hard teeth and acid-dripping mandibles. "Impressive," Anna murmured. The arena master's voice crackled over the speakers, speaking in the clipped, formal dialect of the Governance Council. The humans may choose their weapons from the standard arsenal. Plasma rifles, gravity hammers, molecular blades. "We're good," Alexander called out, his voice carrying across the arena floor. A confused silence followed. "You refuse armament?" The arena master sounded genuinely puzzled. "We'll use what we brought," Anna clarified, patting a small pouch at her hip. The crowd erupted in confused murmuring. Several species known for their warrior traditions, the 8-foot-tall Korvax with their stone-like skin, the sleek and deadly Zentaur assassins, began making their equivalent of laughter. Humans, it seemed, would provide comedy before tragedy. The containment fields dropped. The Krythax Prime didn't hesitate. Creatures that survived 73 arena battles didn't waste time posturing. It launched forward with terrifying speed, its claws tearing furrows in the reinforced floor, its triple jaw opening wide enough to swallow a Korvax warrior whole. Anna and Alexander moved. They didn't run. That was what surprised the audience first. They separated, moving in opposite directions with a coordination that spoke of countless hours of training. The Krythax, confused by the splitting of its prey, chose Alexander as its primary target. The creature lunged, and Alexander dropped and rolled, coming up beside one of the arena's support pillars. The Krythax's momentum carried it past, and it wheeled around with remarkable agility for something so massive. "Anna!" Alexander shouted. "Clear." Alexander pulled something from his belt. It looked absurdly primitive, like a metal canister with a pin. He yanked the pin and threw it directly into the Krythax's opening jaws. The creature swallowed it reflexively. 0.3 seconds later, the flashbang detonated inside the Krythax Prime's primary sensory cavity. The creature's shriek wasn't the roar of a predator. It was the confused, pained cry of an animal whose entire world had become white noise and disorientation. It thrashed wildly, smashing into walls and pillars, its coordination destroyed. Anna was already moving. From her pouch, she produced what looked like a length of flexible cord, monofilament wire, nearly invisible, with handles at each end. She ran, not away, but in a wide circle around the blinded creature, letting the wire trail behind her. The audience watched in stunned silence as she looped the arena 3 times, the wire forming a web around the Krythax's legs. Alexander joined her on the final pass, and together they pulled. The monofilament, engineered to cut through ship hulls, sliced through the creature's chitinous armor like paper. The Krythax crashed to the ground, its legs severed at the joints, green ichor pooling beneath it. It wasn't dead. Its redundant circulatory systems would keep it alive for hours, but it was finished. It writhed helplessly, making low, confused sounds. Anna and Alexander walked calmly to the center of the arena, standing before the creature's massive head. The entire Colosseum had gone silent. 100,000 beings holding their collective breath. Alexander looked up at the arena master's booth, where the Galactic Governance Council representatives sat in their ceremonial robes, their alien faces unreadable. "We have a question," Alexander called out, his voice conversational, almost friendly. Anna stood beside him, wiping monofilament wire clean with a cloth. "Should we return it alive?" she asked, her tone suggesting she was inquiring about restaurant preferences, or shredded. The silence stretched. Somewhere in the stands, a Vrex collective warrior made a sound like grinding stones, their equivalent of nervous laughter that died immediately. The arena master found his voice. The Krythax Prime is valued at 7 million credits. It is a championship beast, bred over generations. Alive then, Anna said. "Good to know." Alexander nodded. "We'll need a medical team down here. Things going to bleed out if someone doesn't seal those wounds." The casual way they spoke, as if they hadn't just dismantled a creature that had killed dozens of professional warriors, sent a ripple through the audience. This wasn't bravado or posturing. It was the simple, terrifying competence of apex predators who had evolved on a death world, where gravity crushed bones and where everything from the weather to the wildlife tried constantly to kill you. The Korvax warrior who had laughed earlier was no longer laughing. As medical drones descended into the arena, Anna and Alexander walked toward the exit. The crowd parted around them in the spectator corridors, beings that could crack stone with their bare appendages or breathe in vacuums, stepping aside for two relatively small primates from a backwater world. "Think they'll ask us back?" Alexander wondered aloud. Anna smiled slightly. "Oh, I think we've been permanently banned from the exhibition circuit." "Pity. I was just getting warmed up." Behind them, the arena master was already composing his report to the Governance Council. The conclusion was simple, written in a shaking hand. Recommend immediate reclassification of human combat capabilities. Previous assessments catastrophically understated threat level. Suggest diplomatic rather than martial engagement. Strongly advise against further arena challenges. In the holding cells beneath the Colosseum, other captured creatures, things that had terrorized entire star systems, pressed themselves against the backs of their cages as the two humans walked past. Humanity had arrived in the galactic arena. The galaxy, it seemed, wasn't quite ready for what that meant.